Hi, I'm Shaun Fitzsimons, fourth generation farmer here on Wicklow Farms. We farm around 6,400 hectares. Farming size is 7,000 hectares. We're a mixed enterprise of wheat, lupins, barley and canola. We did run sheep last year, but we've gotten out of them. Farm soil types consist of loamy soils over clay, sand over clay, shallow gravel, and you pretty much red heavy soils, which is and the rainfall for our farm's probably about that 250 to 270 yearly average. So we've been deep ripping for as long as I've known or been back on the farm. So we usually do this during the summer period, so when we get our cyclone rainfalls come through. So we generally only do this if we got the stubble load there. You don't want to be leaving your paddocks bare. Other things that we've done across the farm is offset disking with a grizzly tiny. We picked up a farm a few years ago and it was sort of just had a few shrubs through the paddock, so we got an offset tiny and just tried to break it all up, pick up all the shrubs and chip them out, and that's done a great job across that farm, and that farm's running really well for us now. But mostly it's deep ripping. We have tried a bit of offset disking and incorporating lime, but we don't. It's not a main focus for us. So this year we purchased a new deep ripper from New Fab up in Geraldton. It's a 6 metre, capable of deep ripping down to 750 plus mil with hydraulic breakout and shallow leading tines. Before that we had a 9 metre deep ripper. That was probably only best you could get was 450 before you broke the shear pins. It wasn't ideal and it wasn't doing a good enough job that we wanted it to do. So just with the cost of going from our new deep ripper, and now we're back to 6 metres, and just the amount of horsepower and fuel you got to use to tow that, I thought it should be a good idea if we do our own little trial to see the benefit that we're getting from trying to deep rip down to your 500, 600 mil deep, breaking that extra hard pan up, and instead of continuously breaking up your 300 to 400 or 450 mil hard pan, and also unlocking a lot more nutrition from that 600 depth. So that's how I came upon my trial this year. I just wanted to sort of see if I can see if it's profitable. Though we've brought it anyway. That's but I just want to see because a lot of people do talk about the benefits from deep ripping down to the 600, so I thought I'd do a trial. So through my trial I've done 3 plots of deep ripping at 3 different depths. So the first trial was deep ripping at our old depth that we used to use with the old deep ripper. So that's a sort of 300 to 450 mil. The second trial was trying to deep rip down to about the 500. The third one is trying to deep rip at 600 plus. It was getting a bit hard at that stage and the tractor struggled a bit. I'm hoping through the most of the trial I've got to that depth. And then I've staggered that across 3 different trials, changing up each way I do it. So each trial is 12 metres wide, which should be exactly the width of my 40-foot front comb on the harvester. So come harvest time, I should be able to do a strip straight down, and I should get a really good, hopefully see some really good yield differences. And leaving 6 metres in between so I can stay off every single trial with the boom spray, so I'm not doing any damage whatsoever to any trials. So seen in the trials this year, it's a bit of a hard one this year for a deep ripping trial because we've just had so much rainfall. I haven't seen a huge amount of difference. So yeah, it's all gonna, visually I can't see too much of a difference. It's all gonna come down to pretty much harvest, I think, how the season finishes from now through to the end of September. So yeah, everything between the non-deep rip to deep rip in at any depth is all, I think, pretty much the same. The only differences I've seen across elsewhere on the farm where we've deep ripped versus non-deep ripping is difference in just plant health. I can tell the differences between like paddock here to a paddock there that we've deep ripped and non-deep ripped, to just how much nutrition it's unlocking at that deeper depth, and it's got its root system down into. So yeah, not part of my trial, but I have seen results elsewhere on the farm, which is good to see, what I want to see. So going forward, it's probably, any deep ripping trial is probably more of a, not just a 1 year trial, it's probably a 2 to 3, 4+ year trial. So yeah, it's just going to be continually managing my paddock, keeping the results recorded, and just seeing how they go on every different year, and rainfall that we get thrown at us each year, to actually seeing the differences between the depths and the non-deep rip sites. So the site will be there for years to come, because it's something that I want to continue looking at, and I'll probably try to think of something else I can do elsewhere with the deep ripper in other years. So this is my first year with Gen Y doing a trial. Last year I did the bus tour, which I thought was really good, seeing what everyone's doing around the place, so that's why I was really keen to jump on this year. It just gets us young farmers out there doing something, thinking about something extra. Maybe you look around at what your neighbours are doing, try to do something similar to that but in a different way. So yeah, it just gets everyone out there trying to do something and coming up with something different that maybe hasn't been done before. And that's a really good innovative way to see farming going forward in the future. Yeah, I'd like to thank Liebe Group and Judy especially for helping me through the trial, giving me a bit of guidance on how I should plot it out in the 3 different sites, the filming crew as well. The rest of everyone else that's doing Gen Y, for putting feedback into what I'm actually doing myself is always good. Just having everyone else there is always good to put feedback in, and for me to also put feedback into their trials. So I'd like to thank everyone involved in Gen Y and Liebe Group.